Hey everybody, it's me. Hey everybody, it's me giving you another video. Now I know I said I wasn't gonna give you another video, but I had to redo my WrestleMania series part 4 because that video that I did about the world titles, I just really didn't like that video. So today I'm gonna redo it again, but this time it's gonna be talking about the IC titles, and then I'll have to plan that world titles video sometime whenever I get to a series about the world title, then which I already did WWE title, but I'm gonna do the world title. I'll be better prepared and give you my better thoughts about that. I just didn't like that video at all, and I didn't like how that video came out. But yeah, this is gonna be my WrestleMania series part 4, making up for yesterday, which was not that good. And so instead of doing the best part of best, I usually do my best first before I do my worst. But today is gonna be different. This is gonna be the IC title, the worst WrestleMania IC titles, and I got a list of the worst IC titles ever at WrestleMania. So let's get started. Let's see. At number 7, I got the Ken Shamrock versus Road Dogg versus Goldust versus Val Venus matchup at WrestleMania 15. This match was terrible. I mean, it was just an awful matchup. It was so. This match was one of the worst IC title matches at WrestleMania, and that's saying something because there's like two on here that were earlier WrestleMania that weren't really good. I mean, this match was slow. There was a lot of stalling by Val Venus and Goldust. Then of course it hurt the fact that they had Road Dogg involved and put in the match more, so really it didn't really showcase Val Venus that much in this matchup, or Ken Shamrock. It really didn't showcase what the two who actually could put on good matches, and Goldust. It didn't really showcase what these three could do in the ring, and instead it just felt rushed. And like I said about the Fatal 4-Way matchup at WrestleMania 2000, the eliminations just happened real quick. The match didn't get enough time to. The match didn't get It didn't get enough time to be built. So really, it was just thrown. It was just guys just thrown in this matchup, and then overall, this matchup was just too quick. It wasn't long enough. And in my opinion, if the match would have been longer, and you would have had Ken Shamrock or the three who can actually go in this matchup, if you had them more involved in this matchup, it would have made the matchup even more good. But yeah, this was just a terrible matchup, and luckily it's forgotten and no one really cares. But yeah, in my opinion, it's kind of almost hurt the value of the IC title, and it didn't hurt the fact that the belt kept getting traded back and forth in the Attitude Era. So the credibility of the IC belt at this point was just, nobody really took it seriously. We then go to number 6, which is Junkyard Dog versus the Greg the Hammer Valentine from WrestleMania 2. This match was, I'm a big Junkyard Dog fan. I mean, when I was a kid, he was probably one of my favorite wrestlers back in the WWF in the 80s, but oh man, this match was just terrible. It's boring, it's slow. There's a lot of stalling by Greg the Hammer Valentine. The match never really gets to that pace that it needs to be. And overall, it's just a match that just needs to be avoided. It was just a terrible matchup. And one of the reasons why this match never gets remembered, nobody even takes a look at, is just the fact for what I just said. It was boring, it was slow pace, and really just not a fun match to watch, and it's just hard to get into. And the only reason this match was set up to give Greg the Hammer Valentine something to do before he went on to feud with Tito Santana. We'll have a match with Tito Santana where he would lose the belt to him. But yeah, this was just an awful matchup. The next match I got on my number 5, is Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus Honky Tonk Man at WrestleMania 4. I mean, this match was built to be pretty good and built to continue the feud between Honky Tonk Man and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, but this match was just awful. It was terrible. It was slow. There was a lot of stalling, like I said before, and it was just not a really fun matchup. And I could see why they never. And it really showed you that why the WWE didn't have no faith in putting the belt on the Beefcake, because he was just terrible. He was just not a good wrestler at all. And Honky did his best to take all the bumps and stuff, but it really couldn't save this match from being good. This was terrible. But yeah, I got this on my list. At number 4, I got Rocky Maivia versus the Sultan. Terrible matchup, boring, slow paced, a lot of sleeper holds, a lot of botched spots in this match. It didn't help the fact that the crowd was just dead, completely dead in this matchup. I mean, it was just awful and probably one of the worst Rock matches I ever seen. And it's a shame, but luckily he would bounce back. But here he just got chewed by the crowd, and then it didn't help that he was in the ring with a guy who really wasn't that good to begin with, and overall this match just stunk, and it was probably one of the worst WrestleMania matches I ever seen. At number three, I got the Ultimate Warrior versus Ravishing Rick Rude. Now I know I said Ravishing Rick Rude was my MVP because he took a lot of bumps, but yeah, he was good. But in their first matchup in the WWF, the first meeting between the two, WrestleMania 5, this match was just terrible. I mean, it was too short. There was a lot of botched spots by the Ultimate Warrior, even the botched spot where he lifts Bobby the Brain Heenan after the match and he completely botches that Gorilla Press Slam. And then the fact that the moves, like I said, he just botched them on Rude, and it's hard to believe Rude survived the pounding and then really get hurt in this matchup, because the Warrior just botched every single move. And then really it was just not a good matchup at all. It was too short, could have been longer. And then of course the botched spots, and then of course the match just dragged on, and that's what kind of hurt this matchup. And many people say it's probably one of the best Intercontinental title matches, but I say this match is real overrated for the things I just said in this matchup. Then number 2, I got Big Boss Man versus Mr. Perfect, WrestleMania 7. Now this matchup had a lot of potential, but the thing that hurt this matchup was the fact that this match was too slow. The pace kind of never really picked up, even though Kurt Hennig tried and the Big Boss Man tried, but you could tell these two really didn't have that much good chemistry, although they would pick up in WCW in matches that really no one cared about. But still, you could tell these two had no chemistry, that good of a chemistry in the match. And then of course the outside interference killed the match, and really the ending was the thing that saved this match. But I mean, really, it was too late, too little too late, as this was just not a really good matchup. But at least they tried, but really, in my opinion, they just didn't have chemistry in this matchup. Then finally, at number 1, I got George the Animal Steel versus Randy Savage at WrestleMania 2. Awful matchup. Botched spots. A lot of stalling in this matchup by Savage and George the Animal Steel, and then some boring offense in this matchup. Just not an overall fun matchup to watch, and probably one of the worst Randy Savage matchups I ever seen, and that's a shame. It's hard for me to say that since I'm a big fan of Randy Savage, but here he just wasn't in his A game here, and I can understand because he was working with a worker who wasn't really known for his in-ring work, but only known for entertaining the fans. But still, overall, this was just not a good matchup, and it was just horrible, really boring matchup, and that's why I got it at number 1. Terrible matchup, and I recommend, if you see WrestleMania 2, skip this matchup, because this is one of the worst matches on this card, with the exception of the King Kong Bundy Hulk Hogan matchup. But yeah, anyhow, that's giving you my WrestleMania series number 4. Hope you like my video. You can rate, you can comment, you can give me a video response if you like. And like I said in my previous video, I'm gonna take a break for a couple days, so you probably won't see me back on until Sunday or Monday or maybe Tuesday, which I'll give you my video on what the guy sent me, my thoughts of what the guy who sent me in my inbox. I'll do a video about that, and hopefully I'll give you more new good videos, and then Let's Play, and then everything else. And like I said, if you have seen my videos and you haven't subscribed, feel free to subscribe, because I got a lot of good videos and I got a lot of stuff to say. For some of you who have subscribed, look out for more new good videos. Until then, hope to see you Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Until then, I'm out. Peace.